एक मिनिट थांब. ठीक आहे मग तुला हो काय करतो मी
Okay, friends, there is an announcement. See, as we know, there is a side effect. Okay? So most of, I guess, most of you are not participating as in the negative. Are you participating? Yes. Once you will be performing and once you will be registering yourself, you will get session whether you will be selected or not. Okay. So what we need 15 members. So 15 is okay? Oh, yeah. Yes. 15 members as a volunteer who will be working for us into around 24 and 23rd and 24. So that will be a good experience. What you do, I'll be sharing the link, okay? And you fill up that particular link and if you want to volunteer along with us, so you're most welcome. So I'll be sharing the link and I need your response into that. Those who are willing to do that because it is a 24 hours hackathon. झोपायला भेटणार नाही आपल्याला आपल्याला रात्री सगळीकडे फिरायला लागणार आहे सगळीकडे नाही डिपार्टमेंट ओके सो 24 आवर्स आहे कोणाला काही गरज नसते कारण की लोक तर काम करत असते आपली टीम असेल ती सगळीकडे फिरणार राईट तुम्ही सांगते the once you will be getting the notification yes you are selected for hackathon join the hackathon if no you are not selected for the hackathon join the volunteer माझ्या माहिती
नाही तुम्हाला आता लिंक पाठवतो काय चालू करते का काय चालू करते बस राहू दे खाली थोडं खाली पटपटी करा ऑप्शन चेक करा
Before starting that thing, am I audible? Yes, working. Yes. Okay. How many of you are from second year, third year, second year?
First year.
No one. First year? First year, second first year? Okay. Yeah. Just give me 2 minutes. ठीक है. How you laptops?
नाव वगैरे वगैरे लॅपटॉप वरती
लाईव्ह मध्ये आवाज येत नाही तू बघितलं नाही माझं तर लक्ष होतं पेपर ते पेपर
इथेच ठेव तो आमच्या इकडे त्यांचा नाही येते कारण जवळ जवळ हा हा ओके ओके चालेल चेक कर ना बोल रात्री आमचा येतोय हॅलो 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 माझा येतोय का माझा येतोय का हॅलो 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 येतोय 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 सर येतोय ठीक आहे प्रश्न
ते आहे का हे चेंज करायसाठी नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट असेल तर ठीक आहे नाही माझ्या लॅपटॉपशी कनेक्ट करावं लागेल लेट इट बी
It's working now.
एक पाण्याची बॉटल दे ना
देतो बाकी काय
नाही बाकी काय नाही. Okay. Yeah. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you on this seminar. Ankhil, I would like to thank all the teachers, faculty, Sahil sir, ma'am, and everyone for arranging this on behalf of aptos and Rising. Okay. Let's see how we can make sure how we will get most out of this particular session. Don't just look. Uh, this is like a very high overview because in like 1 or 2 hours I cannot explain each and every concept. But I will try to touch each and every concept on a higher level. That is my agenda for the day. What you can, how you can get maximum out of this particular session and workshop is listen to the concepts, write it down, understand it, do some homework at home. Okay, Aryan has taught me this things. Let me just go in deep about this whole uh, particular thing. Ki, this is blockchain, this is layer one, this is layer two, this is aptos, and everything like that. So this is my higher like overview for all of you, and we can just get started because it's getting late. Yeah, this is not the thing. Okay. This is what the agenda looks like for the day. I will talk about what exactly is Ryzen, how you can get benefit from Ryzen as well. Then there are some sneak peeks. What is Web3? What is this blockchain ecosystem? Why do we need this in the first place? Anyone has worked in Web3 before this event or have somewhat knowledge about Web3? Yes, no. तिकडे आवाज येतो आहे मागे या नाही नसेल तर सांग ठीक आहे and please make sure that this is not a singular direction communication. It should be a bidirectional communication. If you have anything, if I ask some questions or anything, please make sure that you answer these questions and everything so that I'll also feel you are engaging with this session. Either what happens is people just sleep in between the sessions. But yeah, then we will see what is Aptos, advantages of Aptos, then installation guide and everything like that. And we are going to write a simple smart contract. Like most of you don't have the laptop, so we will try to keep that session very short, but focus mostly on the theoretical aspect of Aptos in this particular session. ठीक है. Before starting this thing, I would like to take 5 to 10 minutes uh, to talk about rising and this thing. So if you do on Twitter, if you just go on Twitter and tweet about this session, we will bring some slides and stand. We will bring some slides tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow, and make sure that you get some slides and everything. So if you are on Twitter, it's high time you should post about this thing. on Twitter. These guys are not active on like LinkedIn. The whole uh, crypto community is either active on Twitter side or on the Telegram side. No one in Web3 uses Instagram at all, or no one uses uh, uh, this WhatsApp and everything to communicate. Okay. So, yeah, we are giving away some cool things. If you just tweet, I'll make sure that you get it. Okay, you just need to do one tweet about this session, about everything that is happening over here. Yeah, hackathon. If you have not registered yet, which is happening here only. So this is the link. I hope everyone has registered for the hackathon. Yes? No? Please register it now. Yes? No? Yeah. Before starting, what yeah, who are we, what do we do, and why do we do whatever we do, like why the session happening at all. Yeah. So, Ryzen, Web3 education company. These are some of the numbers we have achieved in last 1.5 years in India. Like we have onboarded or we have teach Web3 to 2 lakh plus developers all over the country and outside India as well. We have 90,000 plus active Web3 developers who are actively contributing towards the ecosystems, who are actively developing some projects or something on and has been associated with us in some or the another way. We have 20 plus online courses about Web3, about a specific blockchain. It goes from Solana, Solidity, aptos, and all of the other blockchain whoever we have worked in the past and still working are with. Okay. And we have distributed more than 3 lakh plus dollars throughout this whole developer community that we have, right? So it's not about just learning, it's about learning plus learning. Uh, so many of the forms so yeah, college where on 23rd, 24th, so we are giving like 1 lakh plus a prize from before like $25 as well. We provide scholarships outside India for hackathons and everything. Yeah, so that's what Razin do. Yeah, this is like still the same thing. This is my small team actually. This is like India team. How many folks are there in India? Just few of them. We execute each and everything all over the country. Right. So this is my small team. Tomorrow Sahitya is also coming here. So I hope you will meet him. He's handling right now the whole APAC region, that is Asia specific region for Ryzen. Yeah, so he went to Jakarta and Jakarta, Indonesia, Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh cities, somewhere. So we took sessions over there as well. Okay, for their folks as well. Okay. Yeah. Why the career in Web3? Uh, why this career in Web3? So we teach aptos and other blockchains to some other cities all over the country. We are doing the same thing. Now what happens is we take data, okay, and there is a whole team of mine who works remotely from outside the India, and they did one study. Okay, how many developers are actively contributing or aggressively working in Web3? So the number came out as 50,000 devs. To be precise, these devs is not like ki, I told you ki there are, hey Aryan, you just told me ki there are 90,000 devs. How this 50,000 devs are coming? So you know there are, so in JEE, let's take this example. क्योंकि तुम जब like अभी कॉलेज आए हो तो how many of you have given JEE, JEE, MST, CET? Yes, CET. So if you just look at these exams, you will see कि अरे भाई 10 lakh plus लोग are here in this particular exams. But how many of them are very serious? How many of them are just grinding each and every day? It's just a very small number. It's 10 or 20,000 people who have this particular competition. Okay, the intense competition goes in this. That's the same thing with developers as well. But in GE, MST, it's for the elimination. Either get a good marks and you will get placed, or you will get into a very good college. But in developer communities, it is not the same. I heard this somewhere. It is an inclusive community. So there are some outsiders every year. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि this many developers are there, इससे ज़्यादा developers नहीं रह सकते. It's always increasing. It's always good to have new developers, and that is also true with the blockchain ecosystems as well. So 50,000 developers are actively currently grinding hard in ecosystems to get a job, to grow themselves, to participate in the hackathons. And this is a very small number actually that you are getting. Okay, what is 50,000? It's nothing. There are so many companies that are still in evolving phase, right, that are just starting out, right? So there is always this thing called as first mover advantage that you can get because the technology is very new. It's just 10 years. Let's take one more example of this. Everyone know here what GPT is, Chat GPT. Full form क्या है GPT का? We just know GPT. We don't know the full form. Anyone? Anyone? Come on, you can Google this thing out. I never said कि मैं restrict कर रहा हूँ also. Sorry? Yeah, this guy told it correctly. It is generative transform. You know GPT, but most of you don't know what the full form is. What does this mean? Okay, we have exposed to this thing after 2022, 2023. उसके पहले anyone have any idea about what the heck GPT was? So, what happened is, OpenAI is working from like 2013, 2014. They have launched their GPT-1 in 2016. They have launched their GPT-2 in 2018. But we don't know. GPT कब फटा? Generative AI कब फटा? In 2022, 2023. When GPT 3.5 launched into the market, right? So, do you think AI was abusive? This is the whole timeline. It's been in the market for like last 60, 70 years, from 1970 to 2025. And it got a boom in 2020 to 2023. Now everyone is thinking, "Okay, let me just be an AI engineer, or let me just be an AI Gen AI engineer. Okay, I know how to handle APIs with this thing." But now that market is too crowded, because everyone know it got mainstream. But this is not very much true with the blockchain. It's still for the underdogs. There are not much of the users. People know about it, but not like if you ask your parents or anyone, they don't have an idea. They might have an idea about GPT, but this is like a new thing that is coming into the market. So that's what my objective is. Keep why you should be working in this specific field of Web3 or blockchain to be very specific. Yeah. What have you done in past? So these are some of the things. Events everywhere in the country. We are active. So this is Bangalore. That is also Bangalore. Yeah, that's where else. Yeah. So this is like a whole fully sponsored trip from all over the country to Bangalore. So from flight tickets to everything was sponsored. Just come build with us. Just stay there for 7, 8 days and work. There are some successful events that we have done in the past. Let's talk about some success stories actually. So, can you see the guy in the turban? Uh, that is his name is Mr. He is associated with us from like last 12 years, and what he is doing is kind of crazy. So he's not living in India. He is in Vietnam, I guess, right now, and he's earning at like 3, 4 lakhs. But he started his journey through us only. Again, he started his journey. He built some projects. He won some dollars here and there, and done some great things. And now he's working at Solana's foundation. one of the side project called as Sunday. Okay. So these are some of the things that we do. Yeah, I was talking about something called scholarship that we provide. So we flew some folks from India to Thailand last year, London this year, and to Turkey. But due to the conflict of India and Turkey, we could not fly most of the folks from here. There were like much more people who were interested in that specific thing. But unfortunately, whatever the circumstances are, the nation always comes first. So we could not able to fly the folks to Turkey. But we have done an event in Turkey as well. So you need a US visa to go there. That is the only condition. So these are the things that we actually do, and these are like fully sponsored trips from our side. We don't charge anything at all. Just go there, just build, and just showcase and come back. Yeah, if you want to join us, we are doing too much initiatives right now. So we are doing one hackathon here. The next month we are doing one build station in Goa. And then we are doing some more events here and there. If you want an update, you can join our Telegram community. Nothing else, and we will just get started with the things. झालं? Okay. I hope झालं ते होते. Yeah, exactly. इथे ब्लॉकचेन फील्ड वाले किती लोक आहेत सगळे ब्लॉकचेन डेटा सायन्स मध्ये किती okay okay nothing to worry about. I have one small question. Why blockchain? Just because admission better okay? Yeah, nothing else. Anyone have anything to say why have this is the reasons I have chose blockchain and DOT, and that is the only reason I'm here. Yeah, Aksar, talk to me. I'm the new guy here. I think you will see all these faces for next 4 years or so. So, yeah. Anyone? This is the only reason I'm here with the chain or in the blockchain. किती दिवस झाले कॉलेजला येऊन 3 weeks 4 weeks 3 weeks ठीक आहे but you should ask this question to yourself ki, why am I here, why I'm doing this particular thing at all. There should be always a why with each and everything that you do. And before starting this session, I also have the same question. I teach you, I will teach you from the very basics. But why? Why are you even here? की मला तर बस टीचरने म्हटलं की जाऊन बस. That's the only reason I'm there. Nothing else. जेव्हा मला तर पिझ्झा भेटणार आहे, that is the reason I'm here. This should not be the case. And trust me on this, I'm just striking, yeah, for the sake of attendance, let me go. But that should not be the case. Either you come to gain knowledge or just don't come. You know, you can तुम्ही दांड मारू शकता नेहमीच. ठीक आहे? So, yeah. तर वेब 3 आहे. वेब 3.2 म्हणतो आपण. ब्लॉकचेन म्हणतो. बोलवतोय का कोणाला? ठीक. मग बोलू नका. नसेल. Yeah. So वेब 3 आहे तर 1 आणि 2 पण काहीतरी असतात. Yes? Have anyone heard about this thing at all? What is web one, web two? Okay. I'll not blame you guys because you are really new in aptos and I will tell you. Web one. Web one is like your practicals. You just write it. Someone finds the error and tells you, hey Baba, high error है, solve for it, क्यों नहीं वापस? Then you just remove that page, rewrite that thing, redraw that diagram, and you do it. What happened in Web 1 version of the internet is just the same thing. It is like if someone has some knowledge, they just used to like come, give their knowledge online, and just publish it. Nothing else was happening in Web 1 of the internet. One-side communication. If someone have some issues or something, they can just come there and look into it. कि हाँ ठीक है, चिट्ठी लिखा, and then send it to someone who is the concerned one, the person. Then we have Web 2. I hope तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी यांना बघितलं असेल. Yes? Anyone? मला नाही वाटत की कोणी असं असेल ज्यांना नाही माहिती. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, the finance. जेव्हा मी ऍडमिशन घेतली होती ना इंजिनिअरिंगला, I got fascinated with the Google Office. की यार मला तो Google Office मध्ये जायचं आहे किंवा असं काहीतरी. But eventually मग थोडी अक्कल येते की this is not the thing I actually wanted. ठीक आहे? And that thing happened. Let's talk about Web 2 of the internet. What do you think about this? Anyone? Yeah. Read and write, exactly. Uh, Thumb rule of my classes, you can just speak anything. Okay. It can be right, it can be wrong. काही एकदमच वेगळं नका बोलू. Yeah, that is the only thing. की मी शिकवतोय ते and you are answering something else. So if you know anything about anything at all, just speak up. This speaking up will just increase your confidence. You should always cross question someone जर तो काही सांगतोय किंवा तो जेव्हा तो काही करतोय. ठीक आहे? It should not be a signal way communication. It should always be a bi-directional communication that should be happening. Right? So this is like a web to internet. यार मी तर इंस्टाग्राम वापरतो, मी तर फेसबुक वापरतो, मी तर मेल वापरतो, मी तर व्हॉट्सअप वापरतो. Why do we need decentralization at all? Why do we need it at all? Anyone? Anyone? Well, I'm expecting a wrong answer to Anil. But I want you guys to speak up. Have a talk, get comfortable here in the class so that you can ask questions. So that's why I'm asking questions. Why do we need Web3 in the first place? I have a very good example for this, but I want to hear it from yes. Yeah, data security. If you have heard sir, HOD sir, Aditya sir. Yeah, yes sir. Exactly. Yes. Easy accessibility. So if you have heard Aditya sir, your HOD sir, so he also told that there are so many things that are happening in the internet, but we are not able to control our data. Let's let's take one example in this case. How many of you have Instagram account? Almost everyone. Yes. ठीक है. Can you tell me what are the let's say I want to create a new Instagram account. Sir, what are the credentials and fields that I need to fill? Mail ID, phone number, password, username. Hmm? Date of birth, date of birth, not necessary. Yeah, not necessary. Photos to make your profile legit. Yeah, bio. Okay. Let's take the essential things on. To make your profile legit, तुम्हें photos, profile photos वगैरह डालना है, right? Yes. Okay. Let's take one more example. Let's say you don't know me at all. Let's say forgot everything की मी आज आलो तो मी मागे कधी पण इथे आलो होतो. And pedestrians आहेत कॉलेजमध्ये, रोड आहेत कॉलेजमध्ये. यार मी आलो यार गाडी मला माहिती आहे रोड आहेत म्हणून कॉलेजमध्ये. Then let's say you guys are working and I crossed you at some place. ठीक आहे. And I randomly ask for your photo and phone number. Out of the blue, you don't know me at all. Ki, hey, give me a number, give me a photograph. Will you guys give me? No. मैं तो नहीं देता. मी तर नसतं दिला. Then my next question is very simple. If not me, why these guys? Like, why me? If you can't trust me, how can you trust a person who is not even living here? They don't have the data centers here. Just they if they say ki and I ask you ki Arey, don't worry, I will keep your data very safe. I'll keep it encrypted. Hmm. Hmm. Will you guys give me की तुमच्यापैकी कोणी काम करताय कंपनीज मध्ये की अरे डोंट वरी आई विल कीप श्योर कि तुम्हारा डेटा कहीं ना जाए यहाँ से. Is this the case? No, right? So you are not owning your data in this whole ecosystems whatever you are using. जर मी दोनदा माझ्या फोन मध्ये घेतलं आणि म्हटलं की बाईक आय विल गेट अ बाईक की ऍड्स. If I go and Google and search my induction, my Instagram will get induction ki ads. Have you observed these things? Yeah. So this is one of the disadvantages of not owning your data. Yeah, there are multiple things that you can do. We will have a discussion on that specifically. But this is one of the major disadvantages of using these applications that you are heavily dependent on their databases. And that's why we need Web3 or decentralized internet at all to own your own data. I should be able to tell ki this is my data and this is the data I want to share and this is the data I don't want to share at all. Because in India we don't take this privacy concern at all. But there are some countries in India who really respect privacy and everything. But yeah, this is the small introduction about Web3. But your question should be something like this. की अच्छा ठीक आहे इकडे तर पाच गोष्टी घेतल्या तू इथे पण तर काही लागत असेल if you want to create something on this whole internet or Web3 internet, you might be requiring some data, you might be requiring your name, email ID, password. So how are you ensuring that this internet is safe to use? To explain this particular thing, I have a very good diagram. This HTML CSS बद्दल माहिती आहे का तुम्हाला? काय असतं HTML CSS? Yeah, it is used for the front end development. So HTML is like the bones की ते structure करते आपल्या पूर्ण application ला. CSS is like the beauty and JS is like the brain. की जर तुम्हाला काही operations करायचे असेल, this is a very usual example that everyone gives. Database म्हणजे काय database? अच्छा मी सांगतो जो काही पण डेटा स्टोअर होतो ठीक आहे that gets stored into this databases and to access that databases we have some languages something like SQL. Yeah, and we have a backend that will just communicate with your database, store all of your things on the database, and we have a front end ज्याच्यासोबत पण हे backend communicate करते using something called as API. ठीक आहे? API will take your data from front end to back end, store that data from back end to database, and this is how the usual application looks like. जर तुम्ही simple application बनवायचं try केलं, so this is what the process actually looks like. Now, your question should be कि they are here. How my question is still the same. Ki how am I getting this data protected in Web3 or blockchain ecosystem? See, when you are creating your Instagram account, you told me that you need 4 to 5 things. It's an optional goshti काढून ठेवल्या. So we need 4 to 5 things. But that 4 to 5 things are getting translated or replaced by one specific thing in this whole Web3 ecosystem. That is called as your wallets. ठीक है? Now, what are wallets? ब्रोकर माहिती आहे ब्रोकर काय करतो ब्रोकर ब्रोकर काय करतो दलाल आय एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दलाल वाला काय करतो ब्रोकर so let's talk about a broker. What does a broker do? There is a party A and there is a party B. Party A wants to lease their home and party B wants a home on a rent. ठीक है? A middle person comes. This party and party B will never meet each other. Party A will say कि hey, I want to put my home on a lease. Party B will say कि hey, I want a flat for a rent on a rent, and he will just match the strings for it. Similar to this, your wallet is a broker. You actually never interact with the blockchain at all, or do not interact with this whole decentralized ecosystem. On behalf of you, there is a middle person called as your wallet, and this wallet do every single thing on behalf of you. If you want to do a transaction, you are not doing it, your wallet is doing it. So this wallet is nothing but the identity that you have on top of blockchain. समझ रहे हैं? Anyone have any doubts till this point? Please ask. Freely you can ask anything at all. So this is what a Web3 ecosystem actually looks like. You tell you press a button in Web3 application, your wallet pops up. Hey, you are doing this particular action. Are you good to go ahead with it or no? You need to confirm that action. After confirming that action, a small fees will be cut from your account and get transferred to someone else's account. And whatever action you are doing will happen. Then we have node providers. So to understand node or node providers at all, can anyone tell me what do you mean by blockchain? Block and chain. Yeah, exactly. It is nothing but the chain of the blocks. Hmm. What does this block and chain actually means is in real world, he, anyone can run the node or the computation of that particular blockchain, and it is getting linked between one system to another, from second system to third, and it became a full circle, right? जशी आपली चेन असते, कडीची जी चेन असते, something similar to that. Now, someone like me, I fired some command where that data will be getting stored on which block, because it's not just one block. There are hundreds of blocks that are here in the whole ecosystem. म्हणजे मी म्हटलं तर पुण्यात जर 10 लोक आहेत जे हे ब्लॉकचेन रन करतात, ठीक आहे, ऑन देअर होम, तर ते नोड रन करतात. तर कोणत्या ब्लॉकमध्ये जाऊन स्टोअर होईल, कोणाच्या ब्लॉकमध्ये जाऊन स्टोअर होईल, that is been decided by something called as node provider in this particular case. Similar to that, there is one more thing there, which is called as smart contracts. Now, before understanding smart, there are two words, smart contracts. Let's remove smart from this. What do you mean by contract? Yeah, I think it is a very simple term. Contracts. Yeah. Anyone else? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's understand contracts as well. Let's take the same example. If there is one person who wants to lease their home, there is second person who wants that home on rent. These guys agreed कि 15,000 will be your rent. Electricity will be paid by the B party. Maintenance and everything will be paid by the first party. If anything happens in the home, will be paid by the second party who is going to live there. And the contract generally for home is like around 11 months. So you cannot vacate. You need to give a proper reason and everything to vacate that flat. ठीक आहे. And there are some rules and regulations की जर मुलं असतील तर बाकी गोष्टी नाही झाल्या पाहिजे, विना नाही केलं पाहिजे, something like that. And we write it down on a paper. This is your rent, this is the maintenance cost, who will be paying the rent, who is paying the maintenance cost and everything, right? Now, and everyone signed a notary valida contracts and everything happened. But there is a person B or person A, let's say. What does this person A thinks is, he, I don't want 15,000 current. I want 1,15,000 current. And he just add one more zero in the contract after this. And when the B party goes to like pay the rent, and he just showed, okay, hey man, it's not 15,000, it's 1,15,000 or 1,50,000, I guess, whatever the price is, whatever the after adding one zero it is. Tell me one thing. After signing that contract, after getting the notary on top of that contract and everything, if I add that one zero, will that contract is like legally correct or not? Not obviously. Similar things happens in smart contract. Let's talk about smart contract. Just taking that contract from your pages and everything, I just digitalize that contract. Keep party A will pay this much amount after this much time and something like that. There is logic and everything. We will see something. Okay. But when you we sign this contract, ठीक है, in regular contract हम sign करते हैं contracts को. But in these smart contracts, we deploy this contract on the internet. We check कि हाँ, this party is giving this much money after at this date and everything. After deploying the smart contract, you cannot change anything at all. So the contracts are immutable. What do you mean by immutable? It's that after deploying the smart contract, these will never going to change. That's the difference between the smart contract and your regular program. Now one thing can happen. Okay, let's say party A and party B, let's come to the old example only. And they were not agreeing कि they were want to do negotiations and everything. Party A was like कि मैंने अंडर कॉस्ट में मैंने इसको रेंट पे दे दिया. They come to a discussion. They settle their things कि मुझे ये 15,000 रुपए पे नहीं, मुझे ये 1.5 लाख रुपए पे रेंट पे देना. And both of this party agrees. So they can just discard this old smart contract and use this whole new smart discard this last contract that they have, and instead of just discarding that contract, you can use this whole new contract. They will write everything, they will write all the conditions according to new terms. A similar thing can happen here. It will be get discarded. Your smart contract, if it's uploaded on the internet, you can use, you can not use, that is up to you. But if you want to update it, you need to redeploy. That will give you another address. I will show you the working of this. Okay. So this is what a Web3 architecture actually looks like. Now, what is aptos at the first place? What is aptos? Why? Your question should be कि हाँ ठीक है ये सब तो this is very generic. Why we are learning aptos at the first place? Why not some old blockchain like Ethereum, Solana? Anyone has heard Ethereum? Yes? किती लोकांनी ऐकलंय? Okay, let's talk about this. मी सांगतो काय असतं ते. ठीक आहे. Aptos बद्दल बोलू एक 2 मिनिट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फेसबुक माहिती आहे? येस. In 2022 now, there was a very huge boom to everything. I think you were very small at that age. But 2021, 2022 में बहुत एक बड़ी boom आई थी about blockchain and everything. So if you were there at that time, Facebook thought कि मैं भी अपनी blockchain बना. So why should I leave behind in this race? So they started one project called as Project Time. ठीक है? And in the project Time, what they have done is they have developed this one programming language called as Move programming language. But eventually, Facebook is Facebook. Facebook is known for data breach and everything. If you have heard in 2017, 2018, Facebook has done it multiple times. Data breach हो गया from the data centers. So it does not make sense for Facebook to create the whole new blockchain in the ecosystems. So that project got dismissed again. Uh, there is like hate that they have got and everything that happened. But Move programming language was ready and was in production at that time. By forking this whole project time, there are two blockchains that are evolved. One blockchain name is something called as aptos, and second blockchain name that got evolved is called as SUI. SUI is another blockchain that got evolved from the Facebook project died, and both of this blockchain uses Move programming language. First years, which language are you studying in the first year? In Python, Solidity. So Solidity, if I want to create a new file in Solidity, what is the extension that I use? Dot sol. Yes. What is the extension that you use in like Java, C, whatever language you are studying? For C it is .c, for C++ it is CPP, for Java it is .java, for JavaScript it is .js, for TypeScript it is .ts, something like that. To create a new file in Move, we have this keyword or extension as whatever the name of file is .move. Okay. So that is the thing I want to clear at this point. Yeah, why to use aptos over these popular chains? As I told you, there is always a first mover advantages that you will get. First of is this TPS. Can anyone tell me what is the full form of TPS? Yes, exactly. Transaction per seconds. So every single second, I'm getting supported with 1,60,000 plus transactions. And what is this? And why does this matter at all? Hmm. Transactions यूपीआई सब लोग यूपीआई यूज करते हैं yes let's say 10 of you are doing a UPI payment at the same time same minute same second everything ki everyone scan at the simultaneous time type your UPI pin at the same time put the amount on the same time and everything will happen all 10 of you will be able to do that at the same time right yes your the transaction will be successful from your account the money will be debited from your account and it will get credited in someone else's account. But some legacy blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is not the case. What used to happen is there is user one here. When user one's transaction is successful, then user two will be there, whose transaction will get successful, then user three will be there. After user 4, after user 5, and something like this. The whole section will do, which create if there is a 10th person who wants to do the transaction, this 10th person have to wait for like 2 to 5 minutes. Now assume this whole time at the Kirana shop. You have pressed your UPI pin and everything, and after pressing it, you have to wait 5 minutes there just to confirm that transaction. Is it a good user experience? Right? So that is what gets solved. What UPI has the same has aptos right now. You can do parallel transaction, whatever amount you want. You can just do it. There is like time of finality. It's like it is like the confirmation ki how everything is like decentralized over here. So there is no one system who is taking your whole transaction and everything. But there are multiple transactions. And then we have programming language Go. And you are hearing this called as resource oriented language. Java is a, I'm sorry to ask this, but Java is a object oriented programming language if you have heard about this thing. So, what are objects? Yeah. So objects are like classes and functions. It's like object oriented programming. It's a whole different subject that I hope you will study in your engineering or BSc thing. Uh, so resources. Like Java is a object-oriented programming. This Move is resource-oriented programming language. What are resources? Have you heard this one data type called as struct or structure? Does anyone have any idea about it? Come on, it can be wrong, it can be right. क्या ही होगा मतलब either you will not answer it, so it will always be a wrong. Either you answer it and there are two possibilities, either it can be right or it can be wrong. So always take that possibility you will answer something. Okay? Always take that chance if there is 1% chance on anything. Yeah. Anyone struts? Come on, I told you you can always Google things out. If I ask something, you can use it and tell me from Google. I just want some answers. Anyone? गलत ही बता दो. Anyone? Anyone? ठीक है. Let's not put this time on this. So, struct, yeah, yeah, you can create a custom data type. अच्छा एक और बात बताओ. Have you heard about this thing called as primitive data type? Primitive data type. Nick, can anyone tell me what is primitive data type? Okay, let's stop from that. What is primitive data types? Atoms पता है atoms. 12th हो गई है. And what are atoms? Smallest molecule of any matter, right? Similar to that, similar to that, we have primitive data types, which are the lowest level data types that you can ever use. You can always add two or three types of data types together. So primitive data types are just like the basic data types which contains integer which cannot be further divided. No, integer को तुम आगे डिवाइड कर सकते हैं like 1 को मैं डिवाइड कर सकता हूँ 0.10 but that will not remain an integer. That will become another data type called as float. Boolean. What is a Boolean? Yeah, true and false. What you will divide true को और क्या divide करोगे? Nothing. So these are called as primitive data types. But we just don't use primitive data types everywhere and anywhere. We use it anywhere, but we don't use it everywhere. We want कि there should be something complex in our code. कि let's say एक यूजर की इंफॉर्मेशन मुझे मेरे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में स्टोर करनी है कि उसका नाम, डेट ऑफ बर्थ, देन phone number, and I want it all of these things in one specific variable. That's the place where we define struct. Structs are nothing but the aggregation of the different data types, whether that can be primitive or non-primitive data types. Okay. Now, my user data type. अच्छा data type तो समझ में आ गया ना? What is the data type? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Data types. बॉटल में पानी भर के रखता हूँ, मिल्क बैग में मिल्क भर के रखता हूँ, टिफिन में खाना भर के रखता हूँ. Do you drink from your tiffin container water? No. You'll always drink it from a water bottle, right? हाथ से पानी नहीं पीते हैं. We use glass for that. To store data, we can't store everything in one variable. So there are different types of data which will be getting stored in different types. I'm explaining these things because you are first year, this 3 हफ्ते में college में आके. That's the reason. That's why I never go into this detail. ठीक है. So, I was explaining you guys about structs. Structs are custom data types. If I went to a pottery person, जो वो भांडे बनवतो, utensils बनवतो, and I told him कि these are my requirements. मला एक अशी पोएट्री पाहिजे ज्यामध्ये मी तांदूळ पण स्टोअर कर सकेल, गहू पण स्टोअर कर सकेल आणि पाणी पण स्टोअर करू सकेल. So that is a very specific requirement for me. Similar to that is here. I will define a data type. I will define a structure of a data that it should contain your name, phone number, age, address, verified or not. So name is like a string. So string sometimes it is a debatable key whether it can be a primitive or not primitive. Age is a age is a come on. Age is a number. Yeah. So you will store it in integers. Mobile number is also integer, so you will store it in that way. Verified true and false, where you will store it, booleans, and address whatever, then we can just repeat ourselves with the numbers and everything. So this struct over here is nothing but the resource. In move programming, your custom data types or your structures are called as resources. And you need to be very careful when you are using in the introduction of your programming language. If I say what is a move, move is a resource oriented programming language. So I need to make sure that I am using my resources very, very carefully. Because on top of that, my whole application actually revolves around. Okay, so this is the quick introduction about aptos. Yeah, I have prepared one comparison table. Yeah. Hmm. How many of you have laptops? Open it up. We are going to do some hands-on things. Now, again, nahi hai, to just observe it. I hope you this session is recorded, so you can refer to that session as well. Yeah, you don't need to uh, scan this QR code or anything. How many of you have a MacBook? Anyone? Yeah, one, two. Okay, yeah. For all two of you, make sure you have Homebrew installed. Homebrew. Just go on your terminal and search for the Mac guys. I'm telling you. Just go on your open a file of your terminal and write this command brew brew space minus minus version. And for all the Windows folks, I hope you have opened up your laptop. The command is also simple for you guys. You need to check. Wow, wow, why this is. I should not open this. I hope it is clear. Yeah, for Mac folks, this is the command brew hyphen hyphen version, and for Windows folk, this is the command. For me, it's not showing. Are you getting a number or something like this command? Other command not found, are you okay? Then just go and on Google and install this things. Okay, what we are going to do? First of all, I told you that you are a third party. There is a broker in between you and the systems. We need to install that thing. That is what we are going to install. Anyone? Wallet. Yes. So we are going to install one wallet using our CLI. ठीक है? We are going to use. अच्छा किसी को Node.js पता है? What is Node.js? क्या? What is Node.js? Language. Okay. क्या? अरे बताओ. I can correct you. Front end development. Okay. Anyone else? What is Node.js? हो हो हो. Node.js काय आहे? याच्यापेक्षा मराठी नाही घेऊ शकत. यामध्ये. Anyone? Okay, let's go in deep about that thing because I want to come on a specific concept from Node.js. Okay. Chrome use करते सगळे लोक Google Google Chrome तर जेव्हा पण ना आपण काही पण रन करतो तर एक माझ्यासोबत बोला प्लीज आपसात नको बोलू आय नो 3 हफ्ते झाले बट आय थिंक इट्स टाइम माझ्याशी बोला मी जस्ट 2-4 दिवसांसाठी येते Yeah, दिसतंय सगळ्यांना this will be command for Mac folks and this will be command for this is for the okay. Someone tell me the Node is a programming language. Someone told it's a front end. ऐका ऐका इथे ऐका जे काही पण वेबसाइट्स वी रन इट इन गुगल ठीक आहे एका ब्राउझर मध्ये रन करतो डू यू नो हाऊ एक्चुअली अ ब्राउझर actually executes this code? Yeah. So there is one thing called as V8 engine. तुम्ही जो काही पण कोड लिहिता ना that got executed using this V8 engine. ठीक है? Whatever you write in this front end, back end, everything, that is in V8 engine. Now there is one guy. So V8 engine is an open source thing. So there is one guy who came into the picture. It's like, why I can just run everything on this whole browser? Why can't I just clone that whole V8 engine, create a package of that V8 engine, and you can download and execute the whole everything that you can do in a V8 engine on just your local systems. And he has created something called as Node.js. The Node.js is not a programming language, it is not a front-end thing, it is not a framework. जर तुम्हाला हा प्रश्न कोणी पण विचारला what is Node.js, your answer should be Node JS is a JavaScript runtime. ठीक है? It is nothing. It is JavaScript runtime. You can run JavaScript locally on your machine without using any third-party software. That's what Node.js is. कोणाच्या लॅपटॉप मध्ये इन्स्टॉल्ड आहे Node.js? आहे Node.js कोणाचं? ठीक आहे. जर तुम्हाला Node.js इन्स्टॉल करायचं असेल ना किंवा काम करायचं असेल, you need to download their package or command line tools. जर मी तुम्हाला दाखवलं की how Node.js actually works, I'm getting to one specific topic. I want to explain one specific topic. But मी तुम्हाला ना म्हणजे I want to give explanation before installing anything on your on machine. I'm just giving that explanation. I'm coming on one specific topic. जर तुम्हाला Node.js तुमच्या machine मध्ये install करायचे असेल ना, तर you need you can just download it and it looks something like node hyphen version. This is like की माझ्या machine मध्ये Node.js installed आहे. अच्छा, I forgot to ask one thing. Everyone is comfortable in Marathi. Is there anyone who is not? Yeah. Other than the photographers, there should not be anyone who doesn't understand Marathi. Let these guys click the photos only. Okay. 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 So I have this CLI installed. माझ्या machine मध्ये त्यांची CLI installed आहे. म्हणून I can do every operation. Okay, I can run and execute their commands. I can run JavaScript and everything in my particular machine. Let's talk about aptos now. If you want to run your aptos command, if you want to create an aptos program, you need their CLI installed in your machine. If this particular command get executed in your machine successfully, जर तुम्ही Mac user आहे आणि first command झाली आहे, then the installation is quite simple and I will highly recommend. अच्छा, असे किती लोक आहेत त्यांच्याकडे लॅपटॉप आहे पण आणलं नाही आहेत? या आणि असे किती लोक आहेत ज्यांनी लॅपटॉप आणखी घेतलंच नाही आहेत? Yeah, you will have a lab session. बस नोट करून ठेवा किंवा लक्षात ठेवा की you need to try this specific thing. Yeah. So for Windows folks, the command is quite simple. It is, let us clear this thing out. For Windows folks, the command is winget install aptos. Fire up your command prompt with PowerShell, whatever that is, terminal, and run this command Windows winget install aptos. If you are on the Windows. Mac guys, the command is just one एक शब्द different है. That is, instead of winget, just write brew install aptos and it will start download. इथपर्यंत कोणाला काही इश्यू आहे का? Anything की हे नाही समजत? Please ask. Yes, if you are running, if you are following along, right? I don't think याच्यामध्ये मी पण असं करत sorry, restart your command prompt. I'll just go through the whole steps one by one. Okay. Restart कर आप लोग command prompt and write this command aptos minus minus and it will give you a command. It will give you just like aptos 7.6. System म्हणजे जर करत असाल तर this is the time it is our wallet on the CLI. बघून घ्या एकदा. So the next command is quite simple. It is aptos init. Init. There is a init command that you need to run. Yeah. Rerun. Restart. Yeah, it could be 776, 770, does not matter. Yeah. The next command is simple. It is aptos init. It is asking if you can read on the screen. It is asking me for aptos already initialized for default profile. Do you want to override an existing config? मी खूपदा केलेला आहे. I will do it again. So I'll write yes. Choose network from devnet, testnet, mainnet, local, custom, default. Okay. Let's talk about this. मला एक गोष्ट सांगा, मोनोपोली खेळलाय का? बिझनेस बिझनेस नावाचा एक गेम होता. या किंवा मोनोपोली जे काही नाव होतं त्याचं वॉट एव्हर यू हॅव. त्यामध्ये ना करन्सी होती आय गेस. होती करन्सी. ना दॅट करन्सी is only valid during that specific game, right? In game currency होती थी और let's say PUBG जनता UC 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 तुम्ही बाहेर यूज करू शकता का किंवा that fake currency in the monopoly game किंवा business game, can you use it outside the game in real world? That whole currency or the whole UC is just valid inside that specific environment. जर मी तो board game सुरू करतोय, then there is a value. Now in the blockchain, we have something similar. Everything is associated with money, directly or indirectly. आज तुम्ही म्हटलं मला की सॉलिडिटी शिकताय. तुम्ही सॉलिडिटीचा कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट डिप्लॉय केलेला आहे का याच्यामध्ये? काय शिकले सॉलिडिटी मध्ये? एक पर्सन सांगा. इतके लोक मला ऐकून येईल सगळं. बेसिक्स. बेसिक्स मध्ये काय? व्हेरिएबल्स. आणखी ठीक आहे. तर जेव्हा तुम्ही डिप्लॉय कराल ना तुमचं स्मार्ट कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट, you need money to do that. But as a developer, I don't want to put or experiment with my money. यार येतातच 2-4 हजार रुपये महिन्याचे, त्याच्यातले पण याच्यात टाकून देऊ का? So as a dev or as a testing guy, we never use the real money. We use something called as testnets or devnets. These are like the fake currency on top of blockchain. So there is a one main currency that is which is similar to Indian rupee, and then there are like what you guys plays in business game, what UC is, whatever other coins are, that are very limited to that particular environment. Similar to that, there is something called as faucets. Faucets. That faucets are used in this particular environment only. In this particular development phase only. Now you will get faucet, but they are of no use. The value of a faucet is 0, 0. Let me just keep it to default. I will just press enter. It is saying कि जर तुमचं कोणतं enter your private key as a hex. What is a hex? Huh? Hex for us. Hexadecimal. What is a hexadecimal? Yes. Yes. 16 digits is that, I guess. From 0 to 9 and A to F. तो कोण टाकतो? नाही भाई. मी तर फर्स्ट टाइम क्रिएट करतोय. याच्या पहिले माझी थोडी आयडेंटिटी होती. Just press enter. No key given. Keeping existing key माझं हे आलं आहे तुमचं डिफरंट येऊ शकते. Keep creating a new key. And account 0x031F0 blah blah blah. Yeah, it's giving an issue. Is funding it with 100000000 octets. Acha. Before understanding octets, 1 rupee आहे. 1 रुपयाला आपण किती पार्ट्स मध्ये डिवाइड करू शकतो? 1 रुपयाला आपण किती पार्ट्स मध्ये डिवाइड करू शकतो? 100. 100 पार्ट्सला काय म्हणू आपण? 1 पैसा. Yeah, it's not rupee. It's 1 पैसा. 1 पैसाला आपण डिवाइड करू शकतो ना? नाही? ठीक आहे. So paisa is the primitive for the Indian currency. Paise, rupee, 10 rupee, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 10 crores, everything like that. Similar to this, aptos have a token called as APT. APT. And one APT token contains this much octus. So octus is the lowest value or primitive value of one aptos. इतकं समजलं? What is octus? Yeah. The 8 aptos contain this much octus in it. Ethereum बद्दल वाचलं तुम्ही? 3 weeks मध्ये? अरे यार. Ethereum बद्दल वाचलं तुम्ही? Anything? Okay. 1 ETH is its token. 1 ETH contains 10 raised to 16 GWEI weight. 10 raised to 16 weight. I'm not sure. Where there is something called as GWEI, and then there is WEI or EI, something like that. That is like the primitive of Ethereum or ETH token. Okay. I hope this is clear what is testnet, what is testnet and everything. So mainnet is like the main chain. Testnets and everything is like testing everything like that. ठीक है समझ गया I hope it was समझ anyone have any issues anyone have any issues इकडे ठीक खूप नसले पाहिजे जर असले तर विचारा नसले तर मग तर काही issues नाही हां ठीक आहे हे झालं let's create a simple project that is it's nothing just hello world to project मी क्रिएट करतोय तुम्ही नको करू okay let me just go into desktop create a folder mkdir sppu pune aptos workshop I will go in sppu pune aptos workshop node कोणी यूज केलेलं नाही आहे तर I can give you the demo but जेव्हा तुम्हाला एक प्रोजेक्ट इनिशियलाइज करायचं असतं ना whether it be aptos or whether it be node or anything you need to run this command for node applications किंवा react that is npx create react app किंवा create next app किंवा एक node.js चं जर simple application बनवत असाल it goes something like npm init then you need to put the package and everything and it will generate a package.json similar to that similar to that if I want to create an aptos project the command is simple it is aptos move init hyphen hyphen or minus minus name. I hope it is visible. Let me just clear this thing. Aptos move init hyphen hyphen name, then the name of the project. The name of my project is project, but let me just give you SPPU. Oops. DOT move Aptos. बस इतना से जर तुम्ही गोष्ट इथे ऑब्झर्व केली असेल तर I'm not using something called a space SPPU space DOT space space Aptos because space we it's not used in this whole ecosystem जर तुम्ही फोल्डरचं पण नाव बघितलं डेस्कटॉपच्या अंदर या स्पेसिफिक फोल्डर मध्ये I have not given the space because sometimes some programming language do some issue while using the space. That's why I'm not using. I want to be careful while I'm writing some code at all. Cheetah. Let me just open this whole thing in a VS Code. I hope it is visible. Is it? जेव्हा मी ते कमांड रन केले ना the command is aptos move aptos space move space init space hyphen hyphen name and then the project name. So these are the folders that has been created. I'm giving you a very high overview. जे तुमच्याकडे सगळ्यांकडे लॅपटॉप असते तर वी हॅव डन इट व्हेरी हँड्स ऑन थिंग्स बट जस्ट मी करतोय मला येते सगळ्या गोष्टी but let's have this session some more time till you have the basic understanding of programming and everything. ठीक है. These are the files and folders that has been created. Let's look into these files and folders one by one. First is the build folder. What do you think build folder will do? Wow. Yeah, it will build. Obvious, very obvious answer it is. It will just build. What will it build? Hmm. So whenever your smart contract get compiled now, it get created into bytecodes. At the end of the day, machine don't understand what is int, what is variable, what is aptos. That only understand two things, 0 and 1. So at the end, we just want to create a simple contract and we just expect it keep that compiler will convert my whole code from 0 and 1 to the from my whatever I have written to zeros and ones so that it is a machine compatible. The build stores that whole files and folders over there. Then we have scripts. What do you think script does? Scripting. So scripts write some automation. Let's take it as an example. Let's say I have written a smart contract. Now, what my smart contract should do is or behave is it should get compiled. After compiling, I want to check the logic of that code. After checking the logic, I want that code to get deployed on the internet. So I can write a script that will do all of this. And I hope you eventually learn this thing in something called as Foundry, which is used for Solidity. जिथे तुम्ही स्क्रिप्ट्सला स्क्रिप्ट्स वगैरे लिहाल comprehensive scripts लिहा तिथे I hope everyone teaches you that thing. So yeah, that is one of the things. Then we have sources folders. Sources folders मध्ये आपला code राहतो. As simple as that. Then we have test folder. Test folder मध्ये test cases राहतात. That is like to check. So compiler काय करतो ना जेव्हा पण तुम्ही कोणता कोड कंपाईल करता that checks the syntax issue but that does not check how logical my code is. Is it behaving the same way I want it to or is it behaving somewhat differently? So if I want to check the logic of the code, I write some tests. Then we have get ignore. Get ignore is like a get ची गोष्ट जर मला काही गोष्टी नाही पाहिजे किंवा काही बल्क डेटा किंवा मला सेन्सिटिव्ह डेटा नाही पाहिजे आहे जो लोकांना पब्लिकली अवेलेबल असतो तर तो आणि put it into the get ignore. So git is a version control and get ignore just ignores these files and links. And finally we have something called as move.toml file. आता package.json माहिती आहे का कोणाला package.json? Anyone want to attempt to give this answer? ठीक आहे. सगळ्या गोष्टी ना तुम्ही स्वतःने करू शकता. Obviously, we also have 24 hours. तर एकतर मी फोन स्क्रोल करेल किंवा मग मी अभ्यास करेल किंवा मग मी ते सेशन मध्ये जाईल. सगळ्या गोष्टी तुम्ही एका टाइमला नाही करू शकता. सर काही विद्वान लोकांनी ना काही पॅकेजेस लिहिले आहेत की एक गोष्ट हाऊ इफिशियंटली आय कॅन मॅनेज दॅट फॉर एक्झाम्पल एक रॅन्डम की जनरेशन साठी एकाने पॅकेज दिलाय व्हॉट डज इट जनरेट युनिक आयडी जनरेट करतो ते फक्त दॅट्स इट द नेम ऑफ द पॅकेज इज UUID एक रॅन्डम स्ट्रिंग जनरेट करायसाठी काम येतं बस सगळ्या गोष्टी ना त्या डिपेंडन्सीज किंवा पॅकेजेसच्या फॉर्ममध्ये अवेलेबल असतात आणि जर मला कोणते पॅकेजेस डाउनलोड वगैरे करायचे तर त्याचा पूर्ण मेटा डेटा जो आहे तो या move.common मध्ये स्टोअर होतो. Now metadata means what? Metadata means what is the name of the project, what is the version of the project, who is the author of the project, what are the address of the project, what is the dev address of the project, and what is the dependencies of the project. That's what it's for. I know it's boring. जर मी एकदा explain करत असेल तर you need to have laptops for that to try these things out. But we don't have lots and lots of time as well. Yeah, in the sources, I will create one file. The extension for creating a move file is dot. Yes, I'm moving. So I have created one file called as project.move. Now let's understand quickly how project.move actually works. I'm going to copy paste some code because why not? So I'll just go on my github.com slash. I'll share this with yeah, if you want this GitHub, this will be so. Scan it, I'll come become. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Just 10 minutes it will take. Yeah, Lakshada, Lakshada, Lakshada. I know it's just 10 minutes. Garam hota hai.
But 10 minutes.
First year, second year. I just time. I understand. So contract that I got into this sources folder, and sources mother there is this one file called as project.move. Yes. Then I will just copy this pen. Okay, and I will paste it over here. So move is whole loop, but we never talked about move programming language.
Guys, if you're
Yeah, I know move before you that. I want to explain this. This is the last things. We are going to just compile this and deploy this on the internet and have some pizzas and go home. Okay. Anyways, again, Lakshada, last 10 minutes, bear with me, and then we can move from there. Okay, so the code that is written is in the modular form. Okay. Now, there is something called as send message, double colon send message. दोनदा गाली लिहिलेला. I told you, everything that you do in a Web3 specific world, you have to use, you have to use, come on, इतकं पण घाण नाही शिकवत मी. You have to use something called as you are a third person who is the mediator wallet, right? So every interaction has been made using your wallet. So first word after the module, it is always your wallet address. I need to define it. It is a variable. Variable में क्या ना कशाला म्हणतात? How many types of variables are there? How many types of variables? ठीक. Sorry. तर आपण ना हा जो specific variable आहे इथे लक्ष द्या. How many is लक्ष द्या. First of all, we need to specify this particular variable. I will just copy this variable, go in move.toml, paste it in under the addresses section. This is your wallet address is equals to, and I can name it whatever I want. It should be a default one. While we clear here, I will show add fake address or something. So I will write ABC here. Okay. And then I have the module name. So this, if I just remove this and write 0xabc, this is also valid. Now I don't remember my wallet address. That's the reason I'm doing this. But you can do it whenever you want. Then I have imported some things. something called a strings, signer, and lastly an account. Aptos framework का account. Then I told you I had a discussion of 15 to 20 minutes about structs. What are structs? Yeah. Anyone? Yeah. Yeah. We can store multiple data types. So in this particular struct, I'm just storing one data type. That is my message of type string. Now, I told you the structs are very sensitive because move is move is एकतर तुम्ही झोपलाय तर मी चांगली शिकवत. What is the case? मी पण told की मी चांगली शिकवत. Move is resource oriented programming language. Now, resource oriented programming language आहे. This means that it should have some capabilities. These capabilities are of four types. First of them we have used इथे बघा लिहिलेला has key. Yeah. Have you heard that thing? With more powers comes more responsibilities. Yeah. So that's the case here. Let's talk about that. Yeah. 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 This is what I was telling. With great powers comes great responsibility. So structs are like everything in right. So we can have we cannot copy and by default we cannot copy, drop, or store it in the global scope. So to do that specific thing, struct has some abilities. These are the four abilities that struct can provide: copy, drop, store, key. These are the four things. Similarly, पुढे गेला. तर इथे आपण एक ability use केली आहे, that is key. Then we have created a public entry function. FUN, fun means function here. That is very simple. That's the store messages. So let me just quickly explain you how this code actually works. I don't need to take 10 minutes, but it is going to take us a while. जोपर्यंत तुमचे पिझ्झाच नाही आहेत तोपर्यंत इकडे बघा. या अच्छा लक्ष द्या. So this is like the architecture. इकडे बघा, इकडे बघा. I know. Yeah. So let's say एक user आला on my application. जर तो user for the first time येतो आहे माझ्या application वरती, तर I will create a new instance of the struct. And I will store that new instance of the struct on the blockchain. But जर user दुसऱ्यांदा आलेला आहे की पहिल्यांदा तो येऊन गेला आणि तो दुसऱ्यांदा आला तर I won't give him new space on the blockchain. मी काय करेल की हा जो इन्स्टन्स आहे ना यालाच अपडेट करेल on top of blockchain. Yeah. Wow. lines and first of all, I have created a public function called on line number 12. I am storing, I am just checking out what I'm written in. Someone you can get from line number 12. What do you mean by standard? Anyone wants to experiment? Can tell me what is standard address? जो कोणी या कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट सोबत इंटरॅक्ट करतो आहे that is a sign. I am just taking out his address. That is what signer address is. How will I check की हा user first time आलेला आहे की पहिले येऊन गेलेला आहे? By checking his address. Specifically signer address. Now on line number 13 it is very simple. If else my case. So if मध्ये I am checking की is it a true or a false. If the message exists नाही करत on my message वाला struct, then run that code. Just create a new instance of my struct on line number 14 and 15 and 16 and move to is a very specific function that will just take my code and store it on the blockchain. Anyone has heard about something called as CRUD operations? CRUD operations बद्दल कोणी ऐकलं? Anyone? Create, read, update, and delete. It's not understand, it is update and delete. जर तुम्ही काही पण बनवता आहे, in a simple terms, you need to know how CRUD operations actually work. जर तुम्ही एक database call पण करतात, then these four functions should be there. The move to is like creating a new resource on top of blockchain. Let's talk about that for a while. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. तुम्ही किती पण काही पण करा. If you can leave now if you don't want to. The gates are always open from my side. No faculty is there. I hope so. तर जायचं असेल तर जा. But एवढा वेळ बसल्यावरती जर पिझ्झा खाऊन नाही गेले तर. Yeah, that's the catch. I know. Catch. Okay. Let's 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 have a look at the specific functions. नाही disturb करतोय.
तुम्हाला ना रे हा जो इव्हेंट आपण करतो त्याचा सिरियसनेस नाहीये तुमच्या सिनियरला आहे तुमची माझी अजून गाठभेट नाही झाली एकदा यांना विचारा त्या तुम्हाला तुम्हाला एक गोष्ट सांगतो शांततेत ऐका जसं ऐकायचं उद्यापासून येऊ नका तुमच्यापेक्षा अजून माझ्याकडे 700 ऍप्लिकेशन वी कॅन गिव्ह देम पार्टिसिपेट करण्यासाठी मी त्यांना बोललो ना तुम्हाला काय गरज आहे तसं ऐकायचं तू यू कॅन डू ज्यांना नाही ऐकायचं सिरियसली माझा फायदा नाही मी तुम्हाला काय बोललो तुमच्या मित्रांना विचारा किंवा काही aptos ब्लॉकचेन किंवा एखादा इव्हेंट होतोय का त्यांच्या कॉलेजमध्ये कॉलेजला जाते ते तुम्हाला भेटतंय त्यांना विचारा यांना माहिती अजून कोणत्या पण त्यांच्या मित्रांच्या कॉलेजमध्ये नाही झालं डॉलर्स मध्ये कधी प्राइज मनी घेतलाय का तुम्ही 10 रुपये जर प्राइज मनी घेतली तुम्ही इथे डॉलर्स मध्ये प्राइज मनी देताय तुम्हाला तुमची काळजी म्हणून आता तुम्ही जर शांत नाही बसले जे बडबड करते ना त्यांचा पिझ्झा कॅन्सल करणार सगळ्यांना एक एक पिझ्झा देणार होतो पण आता कॅन्सल कर वडापाव नाही वडापावची तुम्ही गेले ऑप्शन मध्ये जेव्हा पण काम करणार, माझे सेशन तुमच्या क्लासवरती जास्त झाले नाही त्यांना माहिती. ब्लॉकचेन वरती तुम्ही जेव्हा पण काम करणार, यू आर अर्निंग इन टू द डॉलर्स. आणि हे वडापावचे दिवस सोडून आहे ना, चहा वडापाव पिझ्झा भेटतात. ऍक्टोस अल्गोरिदम बाकी सगळे इव्हेंट होतात, पिझ्झा वगैरे तुमची खूप काळजी घेतली. आता गोवा एडिशन पण आहे. गोवा एडिशन आहे ऍक्टोच, त्याच्यासाठी पण आम्ही सिलेक्ट करणार आहोत. त्याचा तिथे हॅकर हाऊस आहे, 3 ते 4 दिवस राहण्याचं खाण्याचं सगळं आहे. त्यांनी सांगितलं नाही तुम्हाला, मी नंतर सांगणार. आता आजच्या तुमच्या बिहेवियर वरून त्याला समजलं की किती लोकांना इथून तो घेऊन जाऊ शकतो गोवा. तो तर डायरेक्ट नाहीच बोलतो, चेहऱ्यावर मला समजते. सिरियसली घ्या, नाहीतर मग जे काही स्टेप्स आहेत नेक्स्ट, मी जर त्या स्टेप्स घेतल्यानंतर तुम्हाला चांगलं नसेल, तुमचं पहिलंच सेम वाईट जाईल. त्यांना माहिती, त्यांनी पण अनुभवलं. विचारत दोघांना, अजून कोणी आहे का सेकंड इयर मधून? तुम्ही सेकंड इयरला एकदा विचारा की फर्स्ट सेमला आपण मजा मस्ती केल्यानंतर काय होतं. दिवाळी साजरी तुमची लवकर होईल, त्यांना माहिती त्यांची झाली होती. मी जास्त बोलत नाही आणि दोनदा तुम्हाला बोललो, गेस्ट आहे ना तुम्ही. अतिथी देवो भव आपली भारताची संस्कृती, आणि तुम्ही गेस्ट सोबतच काय कोणी बडबड करते कोणी काय करते. मला माहिती तुमची बसण्याची कॅपॅसिटी नाही, मलाही माहिती आहे. बट एक एक दिवसासाठी ऍडजस्ट करायचं. उद्या जर तुम्ही बोललात ना सर मला यायचं, तर मी तुम्हाला येऊन देतो, बाहेर काढून देतो. हॅकेथॉन मध्ये पण तुम्हाला पार्टिसिपेट करायचं असेल तर हीच लँग्वेज तुम्हाला तिथे पाहिजे, मूळ लँग्वेज पाहिजे. डॉलर्स मध्ये प्राइस मनी कुठंच नाही भेटत, तुम्ही चेक करा. जर कोणी सांगितलं ना सर माझ्या मित्राच्या कॉलेजमध्ये डॉलर्स मध्ये प्राइस मनी येत आहे, आणि ब्लॉकचेन मध्ये काम करणं सोडून दिलं दोघं जण, थोडं सिरियस घ्या. हा दाखवा मला कधी पण, ओपन चॅलेंज त्यांना देतो, तुम्ही ओपन चॅलेंज आहे, कोणी पण दाखवलं सर माझ्या माझ्या मित्राच्या कॉलेजमध्ये डॉलर्स मध्ये प्राइस मनी दिला, येऊन दाखवायचं. ओपन चॅलेंज असतं, असं नाही बोलत नाही. आणि हा इव्हेंट कुठे होणार होता? बॉम्बेला होणार होता. तुमच्यासाठी आम्ही इकडे शिफ्ट केलं, त्याला माहिती, त्याला खूप त्रास झाला. ते दोघं जण आले आता रागवून, ते तो कोलकातावरून ट्रॅव्हल करून आले. थोडस सिरियसनेस तुमच्याकडे नाही, मला माहिती 12वी पास होऊन आलाय, मला सवय होती लेक्चरला ठीक आहे ऐकायचं, त्याच्यानंतर जायचं. बट इट इज गोइंग टू बी युअर लाईफ. नेक्स्ट पुढच्या 5 ते 6 वर्षांमध्ये ऍक्टॉस इकोसिस्टम खूप ग्रो होईल. आता जसं सॉलिडिटी आहे, माहिती ना तुम्हाला सॉलिडिटी, जे मी शिकवतो तुम्हाला शिकवले नाही अजून. सॉलिडिटी आता प्रत्येक कंपनीमध्ये मागतात ना स्मार्ट कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट डेव्हलपमेंटसाठी, तशी मूळ लँग्वेज मागते. सुई, सुप्रा आणि ऍक्टॉस तिन्ही ऑप्शनसाठी मूळ लँग्वेज असतात. थोडंसं सिरियसनेस आहे, आणि जाताना पिझ्झा खाऊन जा.
आलेत का
फक्त
pizza?
बरोबर पिझ्झा आले.
आले?
फक्त सेशन नीट अटेंड करा. परत ते जर तुम्हाला बोलताय तुम्ही शांत बसा किंवा निघून जा, त्यांनी काढणार तुम्ही येईल इथे, ठीक आहे. शेवटची किती मिनिटं लागली माहिती का? 15-20 मिनिटं. 10 मिनिटं. 10 मिनिटं. 10 मिनिटं बोलताय तर 10 मिनिटं.
ठीक आहे. हम्म. ठीक आहे. Uh, yeah. So move to is a function ज्याने आपण just send करू शकतो डेटा, that is like a create. आपण एक गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवा की ना, we cannot delete any data or anything at all from it. We can just create, update and delete. Its option is name. But once it is gone, it's gone on that chain forever. And you can see from 0 to this point आतापर्यंतचे जेवढे पण ट्रान्झॅक्शन झाले, 40 मध्ये from 0 transaction तो जो पण नंबर आता सुरू आहे, that is always available on one place. So move to function is that, and then we have move from references घेतो, move global borrow is a read function actually. It just reads out the data. आणि जर आपल्याला अपडेट करायचं असेल तर it is borrow global weight. That's it. Else मध्ये मी बस घेतो आहे. I'm using this function called as borrow global view on that specific struct and sign address वरती on line number 23. and I'm just updating whatever the new message that user wants to store. That's it. That's our whole smart bot. Now let's see how we can just deploy the smart contract on the whole ecosystem. So I will just fire up my terminal and I will write this command aptos move. I will just save this file. Aptos move compile. There are some warnings. And after getting that warnings, this is like my result has gone out. It is the command is aptos move compile. Okay. And to deploy it is also a simple command. It is aptos deploy. And it will give me an error. Error याच्यासाठी आलाय की I am just using a fake address. You can see I have used 0000 ABC 0x ABC लिहिलं होतं माझ्या address च्या जागी. I'm not using my real address. My real address is this 0x31. I just need to replace it and I will just update it over here. I will save it. I will run it again. Aptos move deploy and it will get deployed. Hope so. I will say yes. Wow. Hmm. Okay. I need to update it over here as well. 0x31F. Yeah. Um, I will say yes. And that's how we create one smart contract. Now I told you about one thing की there is a link जिथे तुम्ही सगळं काही बघू शकता काला चिठ्ठा हे ते की कोणी कोणाला किती रुपये पाठवले and so on. But all you can see is just this digits, this random key because that's your identity launch. जे काही करता तुम्ही याच्यात यूज करता and this is the receipt. जर तुम्ही काही डिप्लॉय करताय तर तुम्हाला एक रिसिप्ट भेटते from these guys and this receipt or transaction looks something like this. And yeah, that's I guess pretty much it. Anything else I want to explain? No. Do you want to? Do you have any questions? No. Do you want to learn more?
Yes.
So go on rising.com and learn from there. It is just a one-day program. Sir, I have given you the whole overview for everything, most of it. What I am expecting from this one, you should never stop at this one. And this is a very serious advice. Sir जी काही बोलून गेले, he is the faculty, he has that authority की तुम्हाला शांत करवायसाठी. But I am the outsourced personality. Let's convert everything. Like Dalun ऐकून घ्या. This has lots and lots of potential. And what he has said is correct. We were about to do it. We left this event at Villeparle. Villeparle is the airport area. Airportच्या बाजूने एक co-working space आम्ही book केली होती त्यात. We were about to do it there. But sir approached. So let's take that event from there to our college. They convinced my whole team. My whole team is flying. मी एकटा महाराष्ट्रीयन आहे माझा whole team. My whole team is flying. Those two photographers came from West Bengal actually to cover this whole 3-4 days to the event for you guys. My manager is flying from West Bengal. I don't want to create that. I made that. So I was probably out. If you have any questions, please ask. Very
Pizza Ale? Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. You can, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for and I hope you will learn some. And enjoy your pizza. If you have here, I'm here.
Thank you so much, Arya sir, for giving your time and explaining the everything. आता आपण काय करणार आहोत दिस रो हा विल स्टँड अँड विल लीव मी एक एक रो सोडणार आहे आता ठीक आहे so if you have any doubts if you have any doubt the one that is having a doubt can stay over here and this people one by one will tell बाळांनो तुम्हाला डाउट्स असतील तर you can give नीलला बोलव ना नीलला काही नाही doubt